Good evening, Uday. I think when this entire Hindenburg issue cropped up in the beginning, that time only I spoke very clearly that this is a hit job which is happening. Because what their agenda was, the enemies within, like Deshratan mentioned, it is a strategy which was, probably done with the intention of bring this, and they knew that bringing this group be a direct attack on the several infrastructure projects that are running in the country. Now, an attitude or a misconception is trying to get propagated that somehow Adani group or say Ambani group is getting projects gifted by the government. So people are saying, "Ye project Adani ko de diya, wo project Adani ko de diya." It is not like that. I would like to first of all make it very clear that all these projects are bidded, and then as per the procedure these people have got these bids. And somebody in a panel once told me, Dharavika project Mumbai mein itna bada project, it was given to Adani. So I said, see, DLF was the party which was the other party which bidded for the Dharavi project, and Adani got this project. So there is a definite attempt first of all to do a hit job, bring the shares down to the lowest, so that this group falls into some kind of a financial mismanagement or working capital crisis or a debt management crisis, and then the infrastructure completely gets affected in India. So basically this is a targeted hit job which was trying to push the economy down, and there are no two words about it. Like, we know that there are certain parties who are targeting Bharat. They are saying they are doing Bharat Jodo, but actually they are not. This is a fact. And we saw very clearly that the market reacted positively. Adani did face a lot of issues, but then I think they have very strong assets, and they have a very strong business continuity process, because of which they could sustain. If you look at the projects which Adani has, if you look at the portfolios or the companies which they handle, they are in the cement industry, they are in ports, they are in Adani Wilmar, ACC Cement, such big companies they are holding, and they have several assets with them. It is not like, a startup company or a e-commerce company which do not have any assets. They are operating for losses of tons of crores of rupees, and yet they are said to be, unicorns and things like that. Adani has a very strong asset, and they are a brick and mortar company. They have very strong foundation. Now they tried to do this hit job, but unfortunately they failed very badly, and Adani stocks have come up, have rallied back in the stock market. Credit Suisse, which raised a lot of red flags, saying that we will not keep the Adani stocks as a collateral. Credit Suisse crashed, and nobody saw this happening. Where was Hindenburg during this time? Where was Hindenburg during SVB Bank, which was in such a crisis situation? And today we are seeing so many other multinational banks which are in a crisis situation. Nobody actually could predict this, but Adani I think sustained this hit job by Hindenburg, and they stood out strong. Now this propaganda machinery is still continuing, because they are trying to bring down the infrastructure. They are trying to make sure that somehow this group falls into a debt situation, or they crack down, and then there are layoffs, or they are not able to service their debts, they are not able to manage their assets well. So something like that they are expecting by creating a narrative game, but unfortunately they are failing continuously. If you look at all the guidelines like SEBI guidelines or the RBI, or if you look at the Companies Act, we have very strong laws in this nation. In case there are any kind of disclosure guidelines which have been violated, or if there are any such things like the Companies Act has been violated, I think we have very strong laws in the country. We have regulatory bodies in the country, and Supreme Court has also appointed a committee to look after it. Still, continuing like a child, they are continuing saying that this is like Adani, Ambani, Modani and all these things, and it is actually making a fool of themselves itself by saying all these things, because these things are not having any impact on the people. If you look at the situation right now, has Adani laid off any people? Has he not paid off any debts in time? What is the situation? Everything is strong with him. So why are we just creating a situation by saying that this is an Indian businessman who is doing so good? He is doing so good in Israel also. He is doing so good in Australia. He has several plants in Sri Lanka, and everywhere they are trying to cause aspersion, saying that, because Modi ji said they have got the project in Sri Lanka, because Modi ji said they have got in Australia. It is not fact. They have capability and they have delivered. If there are any issues, do you think any foreign government would give them projects if they have issues? If there is any issues, will Indian government in Chhattisgarh give them any projects? If Rahul Gandhi has so many issues with this man, then ask Chhattisgarh government or Rajasthan government to discontinue the Adani contracts. Let him come ahead and do that. Then he can say that, I have taken this step or my party has taken these steps because Adani group is not strong enough. So he doesn't have any reasons to say all this, and he's making a fool of himself. And the ecosystem, the enemies within are all supporting him. This is a non-issue and people see this, and I think the hit job, even if it is continuing, it is not going to affect. And it is good that Adani has come ahead right now. The group has issued a statement, and Mr. Nigam said that they should be sued if the information which Financial Times has inaccurately produced and there are contradictions with their own report which they had published a few days back, then such a group has to be sued. And the people, I think the government of India now needs to investigate why is this happening, who is causing this kind of an issue, who is trying to destabilize the economy. We are one of the fastest growing economies, and I think it is a hit job to affect the economy. And in the 2024 elections also, this will make an impact if several jobs are lost or if the economy collapses.